Lastly, this is a deal that just went through before we went on here. And this is the New Orleans Pelicans also making moves. We all know what occurred with DeMarcus Boogie Cousins. And if you were previously drafted by LeBron James's All-Star team, you should probably protect your neck, because you're going to go down at some point in time. There are now three or four players from LeBron's All-Star game team that have already been out for some time. John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, among a few others. So here's what Shams tweeted not too long ago. Chicago has traded forward Nikola Mirotic to New Orleans for Omer Asik, Tony Allen, and a first-round draft pick. All that matters is the first-round draft pick. And here is why. David Aldridge, first-round pick the Pelicans are sending to Chicago in the Mirotic trade, protected 1 through 5. Hey-o! In 2018 per a source, with gradual easing of protections in subsequent years. And then Casey Johnson, Chicago local, says the Bulls are giving the second-round pick acquired in the Quincy Pondexter deal back to the Pelicans per a source. The Bulls get first-round pick from Pelicans, option to swap second-round picks in 2 or 3 years per the source. What exactly are the New Orleans Pelicans getting in Nikola Mirotic? Here's just a little bit of what he adds to the table. We'll get to that in 1 second. Here's the highlight, of what Nikola Mirotic brings to the table, and we can just roll it whenever. Catch and shoot guy, slowly developing this, going off the dribble and shooting threes, willing passer. Robin Lopez probably going to be gone as well, and mainly serving as a catch and shoot three-point specialist. Defensively, huge liability, but this is a team with a head coach in Alvin Gentry who has just said, I'm trying to make the Pelicans the Warriors, even though they will never will be. We got these two bigs, now of course down to one. Just run. Let's just run. That's all we're trying to do. Mirotic can run with you. He just can't play defense with you. So it's a big problem, though I do like Nikola Mirotic. There's a few other wrinkles to this. Omer Asik never found his way when he left the Bulls previously. He went to Houston. He played with Dwight Howard. It's almost impossible for any other big to play with Dwight Howard, as we've slowly realized ever since he left Orlando as the key cog in a team that probably overachieved and went to the finals, though it was a good run and a fun run. So Asik, I believe, is dealing with Crohn's disease as well. When he went to the Pelicans, he had to deal with Alexi Ajinta. It never worked out. So it's good to see that he's finally, if not being traded down the line, because the deadline is coming up pretty soon. If he's not used as a piece during the deadline, maybe he could recapture some of the magic that he had, though of course he does not have a Tom Thibodeau to coach him. The other wrinkles in this deal, aside from Omer Asik, is that the Bulls now, after they started out horribly, then won 15 of 28 with Mirotic back. I believe they were 3-20. They won 7 straight, so they were at 10-20, and then they won more. Basically, what Gar Forman and John Paxson are saying is like, stop winning. Mirotic has had a great impact on our team. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the Marvin Bagleys. We're trying to get the Luka Doncic's, DeAndre Aytons. We're trying to get those players in order to build a roster around that player, one of those three, hopefully. If they re-sign Zach LaVine, cool. If they trade him for a first-round pick and others, I would totally be fine with that, depending on where that pick is. And Chris Dunn being out right now means that the other piece in this deal, Jameer Nelson, is probably going to stay as well. So the last part about this that many New Orleans Pelicans fans should pay attention to is that Greg Monroe, when he was recruited out of high school, and this is via Rivals, as a 5-star recruit, he committed to Georgetown. But hang on a second. Look to the middle left of this graphic. Where is he from? Harvey, Louisiana. So what does that mean? No matter what, the connection is going to be that the Pelicans are going to be interested in a guy like Greg Monroe. Here's what Adrian Wojnarowski wrote when the Phoenix Suns bought him out. The Boston Celtics are interested in Monroe and can offer him more money for the balance of the season than New Orleans can, but his potential role would be far more limited with the C's. Boston can pay Monroe out of its $8.4 million disabled player exception for Gordon Hayward, but playing time appears to be a major factor in Monroe's decision, league sources said. Going forward, the destinations via SB Nation, Golden State is in there. They're always going to be in there if a guy wants to get paid nearly the league minimum to win a championship. And maybe it could serve dividends in the near future if he does win. Washington, I do like. no matter what, the Wizards could use a guy to complement a Marcin Gortat, a Bradley Beal, and of course a John Wall when he comes back. San Antonio is just going to be on everybody's list because they always make the most out of whatever they have. They turn chicken-ish into chicken salad, and they're slowly doing it with Rudy Gay. New Orleans is in there as well as they should, because with Boogie Cousins going down, and then of course Boston is number one, but with New Orleans in there, with Boogie Cousins going down, maybe they could try to get something out of Greg Monroe that other teams could not. We saw how he competed and then was shipped away as Detroit chose Andre Drummond. In Phoenix, terrible, as we do know. And we're going to show a devastating injury with Isaiah Cannon as well. But with Greg Monroe, where should he potentially go? If I were to choose, I do think that New Orleans is the best bet. But would I be surprised if he were to go to a Golden State and they're like, hey, we're going to pay you 1.5 and all you have to do is come off the bench, and with Jordan Bell out, he's already, and here's the other question, is he already a better upgrade over Zaza Pachulia? Yes, he's a better offensive player, better defensive player. However, not as integral and not as tough of a screener as Zaza Pachulia is. On top of that, would he already become a guy if they wanted to go big against other opponents in the West when they go big? Potentially, but it seems like Draymond Green could certainly help them out more so than a Greg Monroe can, and many others can as well. So be sure, thank you for watching on Pluto. Be sure to check us out at youtube.com/TYT Sports, where we will have much more fun and much more interactive content as we are already doing right now. So be sure to check us out, youtube.com/TYT Sports, to subscribe and see more sports content.